The plate came back empty, the bill was signed, and the tip line showed 0. For a single mother balancing rent, hope, and exhaustion like melting ice cream on a hot day, that 0 tasted like bitter chocolate. But she didn't know yet that under that plate, something sweet was waiting to change her life forever. If you believe small moments can carry big miracles, subscribe now, because this story proves that sometimes the coldest nights hide the warmest surprises. The night smelled like sugar and grease and tired dreams. The diner's lights hummed softly, the kind of hum that never really turned off, even when the city outside slowed to a whisper. Emma had been on her feet for 9 hours already, moving between tables with the practiced rhythm of someone who couldn't afford to slow down. Every step was measured, every smile carefully placed, like scoops of ice cream lined up behind glass, waiting for someone to choose a flavor. To most customers, she was just another waitress. To herself, she was a mother of 2, a woman who measured life in paychecks and overdue notices, a person who had learned that some days tasted like vanilla, simple and safe, while others hit like dark chocolate, bitter and sharp. Tonight felt like one of those bitter ones. Her phone buzzed quietly in her apron pocket as she poured coffee for a couple near the window. She didn't need to check it to know what it was. Another reminder, another bill, another warning that the freezer at home was almost empty, both literally and metaphorically. She silenced the phone with a gentle tap and kept moving. Then he walked in. The man didn't look like trouble. He didn't look like kindness either. He wore a tailored coat that didn't belong to the weather and carried himself like someone used to rooms adjusting around him. Not loud, not flashy, just certain. He chose a booth near the back, away from the windows, away from the noise. Emma grabbed a menu and approached him with her best service smile, the one she saved for moments that mattered. "Good evening. Coffee to start?" she asked. He looked up, eyes calm, assessing without being rude. "Black," he said. His voice was smooth, unhurried. "And whatever dessert you recommend." Dessert. That caught her off guard. Most late-night customers ordered burgers, fries, something greasy to soak up the day. Dessert meant something else. Comfort, nostalgia, or maybe just indulgence. "Our chocolate pie is popular," she said. "Rich. A little intense." He nodded. "Sounds fitting." As she walked away, she felt a strange tightening in her chest. Something about him made the air feel heavier, like the moment before ice cream melts off a cone if you don't move fast enough. The night moved on. Orders came and went. Plates clattered. The cook yelled out numbers. Emma checked on her tables, refilled drinks, wiped counters. Each task was a small scoop, building a shift she hoped would be enough to carry her through another week. She brought the man his coffee. He thanked her. She brought the pie. He didn't touch it right away. "You work nights often?" he asked, casually. "Most nights," she said. "It works with my schedule." "Kids?" he asked, not prying, just curious. "2," she said. "They think I'm a superhero because I can carry 3 plates at once." He smiled faintly. "That's not an easy power to have." She laughed, surprised at herself. It felt good, like a swirl of caramel cutting through the bitterness. He ate slowly, thoughtfully. When he finished, he sat there for a moment, staring at the empty plate as if it held a memory. Then he asked for the check. Emma placed it on the table, thanked him again, and moved on. She didn't watch him sign. She didn't hover. She had learned not to hope too much. Hope could melt faster than ice cream in summer. When she returned to clear the table, the booth was empty. The receipt lay folded neatly beside the plate. She picked it up, already bracing herself. Some people tipped generously. Some didn't. It was a gamble every time. She unfolded the receipt. Tippy 0. For a moment the world went quiet. Not dramatically, just enough to let the sting settle in. 0. No explanation, no scribbled note. Just a clean, precise 0. Bitter chocolate. She swallowed hard and stacked the plate on her tray. She told herself not to take it personally. He didn't owe her anything. People had their reasons. Maybe he was having a bad night. Maybe he didn't believe in tipping. Maybe he just didn't care. Still, 0 hit differently when you knew exactly what you needed that money for. A carton of milk. A pack of school supplies. Gas to get through the week. She carried the plate toward the kitchen, her shoulders heavy. And then she noticed something. The plate felt heavier than it should have. She stopped near the counter and glanced down. At first she thought it was just leftover crumbs stuck to the bottom. Then she saw it. A small, folded envelope taped discreetly beneath the plate, hidden from casual view. Her heart skipped. She looked around instinctively. half expecting someone to tell her she was mistaken. But the diner moved on as usual. No one was watching her. No one seemed to know. Her hands trembled as she peeled the envelope free. It had no name on it, just a single word written in careful ink. For you. She slipped it into her apron and finished her shift in a daze. Orders blurred together. Smiles came automatically. Inside, curiosity burned like a flame under ice. When the clock finally freed her, she stepped outside into the cool night air. The city smelled different after midnight. Quieter, more honest. She sat in her car, the envelope resting in her lap. She took a deep breath and opened it. Inside was a folded note and a check. Not a large one. Not a flashy one. Just enough to make her eyes sting. Enough to breathe. Enough to soften the bitterness. The note reads simply, "Some flavors take time to reveal themselves. Thank you for the service you give when no one is watching." Her chest tightened. Tears blurred the words. She didn't know why this mattered so much. It wasn't just the money. It was the acknowledgement. The idea that someone had seen her. Really seen her. She drove home with the radio off, letting the silence wrap around her like a blanket. At home, she checked on her kids, sleeping peacefully, their faces relaxed in dreams she hoped would stay sweet. The next morning, she deposited the check. It cleared. Life didn't magically transform overnight. Bills still existed. Work still waited. But something had shifted. A new flavor had entered the mix. Weeks passed, the diner stayed busy. Emma kept working nights, but she noticed small changes. Customers smiled more. Tips felt steadier. Or maybe she was just carrying herself differently. Straighter, lighter. One evening, a woman came in with a little boy no older than 7. They sat at Emma's section. "Do you have ice cream?" the boy asked hopefully. Emma smiled. "Not the fancy kind, but we have sundaes." His face lit up like she'd offered him treasure. As she served them, she noticed the mother watching her with tired eyes. Eyes she recognized. The eyes of someone balancing on the edge. When the bill came, the woman hesitated, then slid a few extra dollars under the plate. "For you," she whispered. "You were kind to him." Emma felt something warm bloom in her chest. That night, as she cleaned tables, she found another envelope under a plate. Smaller this time. Inside was a note handwritten from a regular. "I saw what you did for that kid. Keep being you. No money, just words." Somehow they mattered just as much. Months later, the man returned. She recognized him instantly. Same calm presence, same quiet confidence. He chose the same booth. This time she approached without fear, without expectation. "Coffee?" she asked. "Black," he said. Then he looked at her more closely. "You seem different," she smiled. "Maybe I found a new flavor." He chuckled softly. They talked more this time. About life, about work. He didn't mention the envelope. She didn't mention the tip. Some things didn't need to be said. When he left, he tipped normally. Nothing dramatic, nothing hidden. But as she cleared the table, she realized something important. The surprise under the plate hadn't changed everything because of the money. It had changed everything because it reminded her that kindness could be quiet, that sweetness could be hidden, that sometimes the best parts of life weren't on display. Years later, Emma didn't work at the diner anymore. She managed a small cafe across town, one that served real ice cream alongside coffee. She hired single parents whenever she could. She paid fair wages. She encouraged notes under plates, not for tips but for gratitude. On the wall behind the counter hung a framed receipt. The tip line showed 0. Beneath it, taped carefully, was an envelope with a single word written on it. "For you." And every night, when the lights dimmed and the doors closed, Emma reminded herself of what she'd learned. Life offers many flavors. Some are sweet, some are bitter. But if you keep showing up, if you keep serving with heart, you might just find a surprise waiting where you least expect it. And now I want to ask you something. From which part of the country are you watching this story tonight?